So it is the beginning of February 2025, and I wanted to go ahead and do a little update on this bike. A couple of reasons why you haven't seen it on the channel as often, and what my future plans are for this bike. So one of the biggest things that are preventing me from actually riding the bike is the rear tire. It is flat, and if you can see this right here, not too sure what it's called, but that shouldn't be there. It should be around the rim, protecting the tube from touching the rim. So that is one thing that I need to go ahead and fix. I need to take off the rear tire, put the new tube in, put the new little circle thing around, and on that aspect it is pretty good. Also, right now I don't really have a proper battery for it. I went ahead and purchased one, and I have it sitting in my room. I need to go ahead and put that on the bike, and once I do get that done, I can go ahead and ride it more often. As before that, with the old battery, not this one, I wasn't even able to turn on the bike. But just looking at the bike, if we go ahead, put the key in, this does have 7,681 miles, so it is fairly fresh, fairly brand new. And if we go ahead and pull in the clutch, yeah, it died. But it does have an FMF. It is a little bit scratched up, which is fine, and it is just a slip-on, so I might get a header later down the road. This does have some aftermarket handguards, which are really beat up. Not too sure if I do want to leave them on. It also does have gold colored shift levers and brake levers, which I do really like. And the previous owner went ahead and put on a Pro Taper handlebar, which I also really enjoy. It also has these ram mirrors, which are really convenient. And I'd say the only thing that is kind of bugging me about this bike, I'm not even too sure if I can fix it or not, but it is the seat. Just the way it's kind of positioned. I'm used to riding a dirt bike, and my butt is usually over here, but this right here is for the second person. This is where you are meant to sit as the rider, and it's a lot more comfier down here because it's narrower. But when you put your legs back here, it's really not that comfortable, and it just feels weird. So I might see if that's something that I can kind of change, if that's something that I can fix. But let me give this bike a little introduction. It is a 2005 DRZ400, and it's been really reliable. One thing which I do also need to do is do an oil change on it. I haven't done that in a while. I have all the parts sitting at home, all the crush washers and everything, so I can do a proper oil change, because this is a lot more complex than just like a regular dirt bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. And one interesting fact, which most of you probably do not know, this is where you go ahead and fill up the oil. And then yes, it does go through the frame, and there is a little bit of oil stored in the frame, especially like right here. This is a drain plug for the oil, so I just thought that that was really cool. One thing which I do not like is the previous owner. This does look a little bit aftermarket, or they did cut this down a little bit, but they put these as washers, and they're very big and they're very janky, and all of this is kind of like loose, which is fine. But if I want to make this bike nice and clean and very aesthetic, I might go ahead and purchase a new rear fender. Same color, same stickers. Obviously it's not going to have this one, but just the Suzuki and the 400 logo on it. Maybe buy something a little bit more up to date, something that looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit snazzier. But other than that, I do need to get this registered. I have only been riding this off-road, and I'm really looking forward to drive it on the road. I've ridden it on private property before on a driveway, and it drives really smooth on the road. It does wheelies no problem, which I love. So I'm looking forward to actually ride this on the road. And just looking overall at this bike, because of the fact that it has fairly low mileage, and even though it's an 05, 20 years old at this point, it's still a really clean and beautiful bike. And as long as I take care of it, it'll take care of me. Not too sure if you guys can notice, but I need to do something about this. This, as you can see, has a couple grooves in from this plastic rubbing against this plastic. I'm sure all it really is just scooting it forward or maybe bending it down a little bit, but that's also something I'll have to take care of. But looking at these tires, they are really fresh. They do look really good, both the front and the back. Now, I'm not too sure if I want to keep it more as a dual sports or if I want to turn it into a supermoto. This is a DRZ400 S, so it's not the SM, and I'm not too sure if I want to go down the path of making it into a supermoto, which would be really nice, having a bike dedicated as a supermoto, as I do have my 250X, which is my trail bike, and I absolutely love that. And I personally wouldn't really want to change it into a supermoto. Now, it would be cool to have a actual dirt bike as a supermoto, maybe some sort of KTM 2-stroke. That'd be really sweet. But other than that, I think it'd be cool having this as either a dual sport or supermoto. Now, I am recording this in 4K, and if you guys do prefer how this looks a little bit better compared to the other videos, please let me know down below. And also, I am planning on, in the future, getting some sort of sport bike. So I kind of have my picks. I'm thinking of some sort of Honda, whether it's a 600 or 1000, I'm not too sure. And like I've mentioned in a lot of the previous videos, if you guys go ahead and check out Unbound Forever, they went ahead and gave us a $5 discount for some of their sweatshirts that they're doing, and they're really cool. They're doing 4 different motorcycles, and I just think the whole concept of it is really cool. Overall, I think that this is a really good looking bike, and there's not much that I really would change about it. But other than that, you guys, peace out.